Welcome back, everyone, and that actually looked really good. I didn't realize that it kind of made me look like a news anchor. I was like, welcome back, everyone. Anyway, I digress. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the MLG Play-In Tournament. Winner of this, 2 teams. As a matter of fact, we'll move on to Season 2 of the MLG COD League. Of course, the MLG COD League caused quite a bit of a rupture within the scene there. Of course, consistent gameplay that you guys can watch here on MLG.tv. And join with me today as I cast the action is Maze's Realm. Maze, how you doing, buddy?
We got a chance to cast over some good matches so far, and I love being able to cast over very good teams that are very evenly matched here, and it's been a good afternoon.
They are pretty evenly matched. I mean, I don't have a full read on how the battles are looking because Search and Destroy is a different indicator. I'm curious to see how it goes in Blitz, and I guess how the matchups are going to be. But for the most part, I have to say it's a pretty solid matchup so far. Of course, 1-1 in the series now. Blitz is going to be a big Game 3 swing. Winner could potentially take the series because that momentum that you get from that victory taking you into domination into another respawn game type. I have a feeling, though, aoX is definitely going to be a team, like, you just got to watch out for them on this one. Sin, most importantly, I just think he's gonna slay his heart out. On the other side, though, I mean, it's hard to say because there's so many weapons on that Vex squad. I mean, Pluto's a great player, but when you talk about Huddle, Slacked, and Saint, it's very, very hard to argue with the potential of those 3 players.
That's absolutely right. And you know what they say, S&D wins tournaments. And then, of course, Blitz is a neutralizing game type. So that's what we're going to be able to see. I mean, right now, the advantage is really on Vex's corner because they did take that S&D. But aoX is going to be playing angry. I can guarantee you that. And they're going to want to get on the board. And they're hungry for another win here. And it's going to be on Warhawk once again. But this time, it is that neutralizing game type Blitz.
Yeah, that's right. Look for big plays here on both sides. I mean, for aoX, look for Sin to be the guy that's going to really come out strong with a couple of key kills there, as well as Mud Dog. He had a great run in that Search and Destroy game, looking to continue that energy going into this Game 3. But, of course, on the aoX, or on the Vex side, apologies, again, I just got to talk about Huddle and Slack and Saint. Again, it's just those 3 players, having those 3 on the same team is very, very dangerous, especially Huddle and Slack. I believe both of those players played on Unite together, and that was with Spacely and Clayster for MLG Dallas, and that team went on to play second in that event. So that gives you an indicator of how good this team is. I mean, I was back in Black Ops 2, but I mean, talent doesn't go away. You know?
That's absolutely right. It just does not go away. And I want to point out that the loadouts here for Vex are basically a telling type of thing here for how they're going to be playing. And Huddle, of course, he's that AR. I mean, he's going to be making his presence known here for Vex, and you're going to definitely want to keep your eyes on him.
Huddle will be facing off against Doubt, who's rocking an AR. So Doubt's actually using a muzzle brake with the red dot, while Huddle is actually opting for the grip with a red dot. I actually like this move from Huddle because it's just going to give him more stability at longer range. And granted, you know, I'm a big fan of having the muzzle brake no matter what, but you know, you have to think with the way that Huddle's going to be playing this side, especially if he's looking to look over the mid, which is exactly where he's moving right now, he is going to certainly need that stability.
Yeah, you need that stability, and he's got an accurate enough shot to make it count, and that is going to show right there as this Croaster that will meet his maker with that. Yes.
Sin actually snuck by there. He's going to make it. Oh, and he does manage to get that goal. That's going to be the first one there. Finding one as soon as he comes off of that respawn. Mud Dog, on the other hand, knowing that there's going to be a player inside, he is not going to be able to find him because it was going to be prone as soon as he turned around that corner. Croaster and the team are going to be continuing to play the defense here and just drop back as much as they can and try and stop this attack, and then they're going to make their advancement forward.
That's absolutely right. But here on Warhawk, the most important thing you have to keep in mind of is those relays. You got to really make sure that you've got someone set up to help you slide in for a score. And Mud Dog right now, aggressive plays by him. I'm going to go on board with him as he's just wanting. He's a man on a mission here, Golden Boy. And let's see if he can pick up this cap, and he will. And now it is an advantage, 2-0.
Oh, yeah, but just as you say that, though, there is going to be a score coming from the Vex side. That's going to be Huddle with that one, which is, you know, pretty interesting there, to say the least. It seems like they are opting for four SMGs. No 4 subs, no AR for them. I thought that they were going to try and at least put Huddle on the AR to try and counter that mid, but it seems like they know, like, you know what, just take the 4 subs and, you know, bring it to them. That's actually something that we saw Gandhi talk about quite a bit. Gandhi and Maven, as a matter of fact, the COD champs, they said, you know, it's subs. It's all sub play at this point. They're definitely the more dominant class here in Call of Duty Ghosts. And if you run 4 subs, chances are you're going to be able to capitalize on some scores. Vex looking to manage to tie this one up, which they do so. It's going to be 4-4 right now. Huddle is not going to be able to stop that one and make that cap happen. But in turn, though, Pluto able to find one. That's going to be Doubt with the pick.
That's absolutely right. It's a tie game right now, and we've just surpassed that 3-minute mark, and it's looking like a close one here once again. But let's get on board here with Pluto, who unfortunately is going to turn around at the wrong time. And you know what they say, that's Call of Duty timing for you.
Oh, Call of Duty timing indeed. I mean, Maze, it's just, you know, at first I just thought it was a thing of bad luck, but now I just realize it's a thing. I've accepted it into my life. It is a thing that I just have to understand, and it's like you don't fight COD timing, you just deal with it. But Saint is going to be able to slide in there. He is going to get killed though by MudDog, but not before he gets that goal and put his team in the lead here with a score of 5-4, 2 minutes and 16 seconds left on the clock. Huddle looking to make another play happen, drops right in, and look at that defense there. aoX is non-existent for aoX to be able to hold that down. Pluto, he is going to get picked off. One player finally drops back over to the base now, checking out what's going on with Slack. He gets dropped. Now you got 2 players, Saint and Huddle, having to work together, navigating the goal area there. And man, I mean, it just seems like as soon as Vex gets in your base maze, there's just nothing stopping him.
That's exactly what I was referring to. Those relays are important, and Vex was really holding it down, but Pluto unfortunately gets taken down, and they want to be able to set that up once again. Pluto making his MTRX do the talking now on mid-street, as he is going to remain alive here. But he's got a player, and he's going to call him out, and that's definitely going to be something they need to be worried about.
Yeah, you know, they did manage to make that call out happen, but they did lose track of him. He's actually going to be inside of the post, so they got to be wary of this. Pluto, on the other hand, opting, you know, I'm just going to continue to just navigate this area here. He is going to get identified, though, as he walks by. One player is going to be right next to him, and they're just going to continue to follow him for as long as he possibly can. Pluto, oh no, he just slid right under his nose, and now Pluto is going to be able to take him out. But man, that was a great play there out of him, jumping over to Slack. And you know, Maze, I mean, again, let's take a look. We got an MTAR for Huddle, you got a Vector for Slack, Pluto's got an MTAR, and a Vector for Saint. But then on the other side, let's see what's going on for aoX. Croster's rocking an MTAR. Doubt just got picked off, though, so we'll see what he's rocking in a little bit. Sin's rocking an MTAR. MudDog has that Vector, and Doubt is using an AR, yet you see that score right there. You have that one AR. Of course, it's a good long-range gun to have, but you need that speed to pressure the goal.
That's right. Even with agility, you're not going to be as fast, obviously. And right now, that's probably what's holding him back just a tiny bit. But it's only a 1-score differential here, as the second half is going to be upon us very, very soon here. And now it's a tie game, as I say that. So this is looking really good. But either way, Vex needs to keep in mind that they just let one slip away right there.
Yeah, well, bear in mind, though, if Crocer is not going to be able to make that one happen. 2 seconds left on the clock, and it's going to be 6-6 tied going into the half here, Maze. And again, I'm quite surprised. I mean, you know, Doubt, he's 7-7 right now. Sin was actually struggling. He was 3-8 at one point, and he was able to answer back with 4 kills and only 1 death there. 2 caps to him as well. So a big round out of him, and it seems like Croster and MudDog just stepping it up in the Slate category, which, you know, of course, I knew what they're capable of. It's just I've always seen Sin as that guy for them that's been just a huge factor on that team when it comes to slaying. And in my conversations with Xfinity as well, like, you know, they talk about how each player's role is just so important. And it seems like MudDog and Croster just doing what they do best as veterans, or Croster were doing what he does best as veteran, and MudDog with his knowledge that he has of competitive Call of Duty just continuing to pressure.
Absolutely right. And right now, I just want to go on board with Doubt here, because now this side is favored for his playstyle with the AR. He's going to be perfectly able to defend this goal, and that is going to be a huge staple for Team aoX going into the second half.
So long as they can push to right. So long as aoX can push to right, so Doubt doesn't have to worry about it. He can look at the corner of his eye, which he should have seen there, but it's okay. He ends up getting picked off, though. That's going to be a goal. Needless to say, though, aoX still continuing to apply the pressure. Crocer's going to get dropped, jumping back over to Vex here to see what's going on with them. They're going to have presence in the mid, and they're going to continue to push up all 3 lanes here. But just as we say that, Vex, Pluto, and Saint end up getting taken out. The pressure's coming on the dockside for Huddle. He's going to have to opt to go back. And look at this, an aggressive AR here as he tries to get a kill, which he does manage to do so. 3 down right now. Kroster by himself as he has to rotate back around. No, instead opting to push up toward the American to get that goal. But we'll stick with Huddle here. I'll keep, let's see here. That's actually Sin. I'll keep him highlighted. He gets picked off. And, man, I mean, overall, though, just a great showing here from both teams. 1 goal separates them.
Yeah, 1 goal separates them, and that's because the defense is picked up for both teams. But right now, it is aoX that has to get an offensive push to work and go their way. They just keep getting outslain right when they get to that objective, and that is why Vex still has that edge. And maybe it's just because Saint is doing a lot of work here. And look at him. He's just being very patient right now, just waiting for those overextending players by aoX there.
Ooh, but there is going to be a cap tying it up 7-7 here. But Saint knows that there are going to be more players creeping up on the American side. Actually finds one, and look at those reflexes. Turns around the corner, and he's going to be able to pick him off, though. Teammate Huddle actually going to have to deal with 1 member of aoX there, but that's not going to matter as that player does manage to score. It was actually going to be Kroster. Huddle finding 1. As he managed to take him out with a hip fire there with that Vector. And he's going to be taking shots from the side as he runs away, but he will get stopped finally. Now jumping over to Huddle here. He gets picked off, and it seems like that control that Vex has managed to get at one point is now going to be a lot harder for them to maintain as aoX continues its attack.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard to maintain now, but, you know, Pluto is overextending. He's trying to be a ninja right now. Let's be honest. He's trying to be a ninja, but they know exactly where he is. And now, if he wins this gunfight, he'll be a lucky man because he's 1 shot from death. Yeah. But he's the closest one to score right now. And if he keeps distracting, it'll give his team enough time to be able to move in there and try to capture this. But right now, it's an 8-7 score as that 2-minute mark has already surpassed. And time's dwindling down. They've got to get more offensive pushes
This
here.
is going to be a big play here out of Slack. If he's able to stay alive, and he knew that 1 player was going to be around there. He sees a player pushing up. Oh, he's going to be able to pick 1 off. And now moving forward, he will have a teammate there for support. 1 on the left. He gets picked off, but it's going to be tied up 8-8 now as Saint and Pluto is going to be the ones left alive here for Vex. But still, the damage has been done. Tied 8-8 here, and Pluto, he manages to make a call out there. 1 on Tarp. His teammate needs to be more responsive on that, though. That was actually going to be Kroster taking out 1, but Pluto, he's going to be in the goal. Now it's going to be a 1-point lead in favor of Vex, and back and forth we go in this match.
That's absolutely right. And here's one thing I want to mention, and this is what I call the 2-minute drill and the 1-minute drill. And this is what really can determine the success of a victory for a team here. And Vex really has been aggressive with getting 2 players to push the objective here as the minute mark has been surpassed as well. And that's why they're leading right now 9-8. 50 seconds left is still mathematically possible for aoX, but they really need to be as aggressive as Vex is being right now.
Yeah, so we'll jump over to aoX here, see what's going to go on. The mid is going to be an aggressive push for 2 members. It's actually going to be Sin and Doubt as they try and maintain control. It's going to be a double kill for, or actually 2 players taking out Sin and Doubt, both taking him out there. Let's actually jump over to Sin. He's going to try and actually make a jump on top Gina's, but this is it. All or nothing. 2 players on the left side. Sin not finding anyone. Moving into the diner. He is going to have Doubt there for support. Doubt not taking out anyone just yet. Look at the players that are going to be circling around. This is it. This is the time that you need to come up big here. Shots exchange. Doubt's going to be by himself, and he can't quite get it. And Kroster can't do it either. And Vex is going to manage to pull this one off, and they're going to be able to get that goal. They're adding insult to injury. Regardless of the fact it was a great matchup, still they had a lot to come at there, and they just couldn't quite do it. As its score will be 11-8. I didn't even see that 10th goal go in. I saw it was 9-8, but did they cap that other goal when they were pushing up there?
That's right, they did, and it was mathematically impossible at that point
so for them to be able to win.
All that hype for the entertainment of the stream, my friend. That's how it goes.
You know, a telling factor here, I mean, look at Vex. They just straight up outslayed aoX there, right? I mean, you have all 3 members pretty much pulling 20 kills on that one. On the other side, only 1 member of aoX, and that was actually going to be Kroster pulling off 20 kills. And slaying is such a huge factor. I mean, we talk about it all the time. You see it talked about quite a bit on Twitter, on Reddit, all that stuff. It's slaying. It's busting out 4 SMGs and just getting in their face and slaying the crap out of them, and then just continuing to rack on those goals. And that's kind of the way it went here. Of course, it was a little rocky for them, right? The counters were definitely there for aoX and Vex, but Vex just able to, and again, it all came down to that slaying category. They were able to edge them out on that one with over, I believe, what is that, like 84 kills total. So yes, a good showing out of them, for sure, for sure.
Phenomenal showing, and I do want to also state that Vex really played their cards right. They were playing slow and passive and trying to make aoX feel comfortable and thinking that they could maintain that game. But then they get aggressive after that 2-minute mark and that minute mark, and they make him pay, and that's how they take that with a nice victory there.
Yeah, definitely a good showing there out of Vex. Now let's see if aoX is going to be able to answer back in this domination matchup and force a game 5 into Search and Destroy. Of course, the pressure is on. aoX loses, they get sent down to the losers bracket. This is the winner semis. If Vex manages to win this one, they will move on to the finals. So it's going to be a big matchup. Dom Freight coming up next. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll see you right here on MLG.tv.